Always great to see Dan Marino. Catch up with him Monday after the Super Bowl, one of the largest diet decision days for men, and Nutrisystem is there to help you. Dan will talk about Nutrisystem coming up in a moment. We were just talking about when people talk about how far they can throw a football. You know, there's that great scene in Napoleon Dynamite where, you know, you got what is it, Uncle Rico?
Uncle Rico.
Yeah, and he could throw it, you know, over the mountain there. You probably ran into people that had stronger arms or could throw it farther than you. They just couldn't hit anything when they threw
exactly
it, right?
You got to hit what you're throwing at, right? But yeah, there's always got, like, especially on your team. Like we talked earlier about O.J. McDuffie,
a wide receiver.
I mean, he could throw like 85 yards, and I could never in my life throw it 85 yards. But you know, he was a receiver. He's not a quarterback. But that does happen, huh?
At your best, though.
My best, I'd probably 70 to 75 maybe.
But how many
70.
times in your career do you think you actually threw it that far?
Very few times. Usually, I mean, if you're throwing a long one, it's, you know, the furthest you'll throw it is 50, 55, 60 yards.
But has the game changed now? If you were coming out now, going into the pros, what would your style be, or would it be any different at all?
I don't think it would be any different at all. I mean, you know, when I was younger, I know people don't remember this, but I actually could move around a little bit, you know, make some plays, you know, outside of the pocket. But I don't think my style would be any different whatsoever. I mean, pretty much everybody, you know, all the great players at that position, their style would probably be the same.
But like certain players keep a play alive. Is that the way of complimenting you, that you have some mobility? Like Tom Brady will keep it alive. Ben is like, you know, Godzilla, where he's taking on.
Yeah, he breaks tackles in the pocket, moves around, takes hits. Tom keeps it alive by moving in the pocket, you know, while he still has vision downfield. He'll just take one step one way or the other, make guys miss, but he still keeps the play alive.
Can Tom Brady play 5 more years?
I don't know about that, but I know he could play a couple more for sure.
But what goes first? Your
legs.
But if he doesn't really use them that much, I mean, he's in great shape.
No, maybe he can. I personally don't think so, but you know, maybe he can. He's in great shape, but usually your legs go first, and that was the case with me. I mean, I could still, you know, throw it pretty good after I was retired, but just getting around and moving, getting in your drops where you need to be, making people miss, getting out of the way, that becomes a problem. If you can't get out of the way, it gets really dangerous.
If you had Dallas's offensive line this year at your age, how many touchdown passes could you throw?
Oh, 60 at least. Yeah. You know I was going to say that, right?
Yeah, well, you should
Don't have to prove it.
You probably could have thrown for 60 in a season with today's rules.
Yeah, there's a chance someone might do it again.
Yeah.
You know, someone might do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want the record. 55 now, right?
Peyton's got that.
Peyton had 55. I think I had 48. Brady has 51, right? Yeah. So, yeah, someone could do that.
How much competition is there between you guys? When you hear what makes Brady the greatest quarterback of all time? Is it just Super Bowls?
I think it's his competitiveness, his consistency, you know, as many games as they won together. Him and Belichick, it's really, you know, it's the continuity that they have with the head coach and the quarterback being together. They know they could build around that, you know, each and every year. You know, all the players come and go, but you have that consistency there. That's why they win all the time.
Is he better than you?
I'm going to say no one's better than me, but I just, you know, him playing in his 7th Super Bowl.
But you have to think that way, right?
You have to think as a quarterback. You know, I mean, they're all great. I mean, if you talk about Peyton and Brady and Aaron Rodgers and Montana, Elway, all those guys. I mean, for me, too, it's just to be mentioned with those guys is pretty special.
But you never sit around and talk about memories when you're with Montana or Elway? There's no game that comes up? Or
No, not a lot of football talk. Some, but not a lot.
What do you talk about?
Just family, whatever it may be.
Golf, anything?
Yeah, some golf, you know. Wine, Nutrisystem. Talk about Nutrisystem.
How's Fritzy looking here?
I don't know. Fritzy looks pretty good.
I'm hanging in there.
All right.
You hanging in there?
Yeah, he needs...
Did you put any weight on, or you stayed the same?
I
had
put a little weight on, then it went. I'm kind of like bouncing back and forth a little bit, but you guys were extremely helpful, as you know, when I was trying to lose the weight for my son's bar mitzvah.
And the bar mitzvah went good, right?
It went fantastic.
My video looked good.
It was a huge success.
Good.
And then Dan's been trying to get me to do some, Soul Cycle spin classes. He's trying to get me to get some more exercise going on top of the
That's good.
Nutrisystem.
Stuff's good. You should do this.
Well, I told him that you can't have Mountain Dew and Doritos as lunch. Right?
That's exactly right.
You can't.
Exactly right.
And
you gave me a little slap when you saw him. I had like a veal parm sub on my desk.
Well, I said go 6-inch, not a foot long, first of all. And then second of all, he had a bag of chips between his legs and he was sneaking it.
He was hiding it?
And I go, dude, you can't
That's not a good sign.
That was a little embarrassing.
That's not a good sign.
The other problem is, as far as portion control, like with the Nutrisystem, you got to follow the plan. I thought that, anything that says Nutrisystem on, you could really consume as much of that as you want. Yeah. But it's supposed to be like a snack between lunch and dinner.
You can't eat the whole box in 2 days.
It's the cheese puffs or the cookies, not both of those things.
But Monday after the Super Bowl, you can start back on your
absolutely
because that's the biggest diet day for men. So
all right, give us the pitch.
That's the biggest diet day for men. Monday after the Super Bowl decision day, and there's a new program. It's called Lean 13. Why do you think it's called Lean 13?
Number 13.
Something to do with
maybe
New Jersey.
It was number 13, but also you can lose 13 pounds.
See
in
that?
1 month, so you can do it.
That worked out nicely with the uniform number and the 13 pounds.
It's perfect.
What kind of
My friends came up with that.
What kind of nutrition did you do when you played? Did you know anything about it?
Right. Yeah, I tried to eat right, but sometimes you go off that. We don't have the same education. It was when I came in the leagues they do now, and with the Dolphins and other teams, they have nutritionalists, they have special diets for everybody. I'm sure you talk about Tom Brady. I'm sure he's on a special diet. He eats only certain foods and works out certain ways, and that's why he's able to play as long as he's played.
Did you ever go through concussion protocol?
They didn't have it. No, but I had a couple concussions in my career. Not a lot, a couple.
Yeah.
But they didn't have protocol.
What would they ask you?
If I was okay. You okay? Go back in.
Did you lie?
There was no, I didn't lie. I told him there was times when I said, it would be a little dizzy and a little fuzzy, but I said I could play with it, and I did.
Yeah, Paul.
Dan, I did some research and I found the Miami Dolphins concussion protocol from the 80s. When Dan got hurt, they would look at the backup quarterback and then look at Dan and put him back in the game.
That's a good protocol, actually. I think that's in place today, too.
That's mean spirit. They looked at Don Strock and they go, oh, no, Marino, you're good.
No names.
Go
That's funny.
back in there.
That's funny. Funny.
But who rang your bell, though?
It's hard to. There was Rufus Porter once hit me. He was an outside linebacker for Seattle Seahawks. You remember these things, right? He hit me once and pretty much knocked me out. And then there was a couple that I had kind of in Indianapolis, and I can't remember who they were. But yeah.
Well, that's not good.
No, I could find out.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I could find out. Just not off the top of my head.
Yeah, I was wondering. It's good that you remembered Rufus Porter. The bad news is you can't remember the Colts.
The Colts, yeah. I'll remember before the show's over.
Do you remember, we look for draft profiles of our guests if they played or they're currently playing, and we couldn't find one for you.
Draft profile?
Yeah, when you're coming out of Pitt.
Okay.
Like strengths and weaknesses. We did Travis Kelce yesterday where they said not a great athlete. Like all these things that are...
Yeah. So like the Combine puts it out?
Yeah. Okay. So we got Josh Norman's coming up, Von Miller, those kind of guys. Von Miller's too small and all those things. Now we do...
They're wrong.
Yeah, Paulie.
The I-Team tracked down audio, what was said about Dan Marino on draft day, and it wasn't all positive.
All right. Play that 2-a-days.
That was Commissioner Pete Rozelle just about a minute and a half ago as he made the selection announcement for the selection of Danny Marino.
I can understand
it. Number one, I don't know who is going to work with him down there. Where is the great quarterback coaching genius in the offense? I know Arnsparger is a great defensive coach. I don't see where he's going to get this great coaching that's going to overcome the problems he's had. I mean, strictly long-range projection down the line, and I think they need help in other directions. Maybe they felt that what they wanted wasn't there and they couldn't get that help, but I really don't understand it.
That's Paul Zimmerman.
Yeah.
Draft coverage, and Paul spent a lot of time covering the NFL.
Paul's a nice guy.
Yeah. Didn't think you were...
I mean, you're going to get different opinions from different people. I mean, I felt like I was one of the best players in the draft. That's just how you feel. That's how I felt. But, obviously a lot of people didn't feel that way. But I'm glad Don Shula felt that way.
When was your moment where you go, okay, welcome to the NFL?
I
Good or bad?
Right. Yeah. When I went into minicamp, when I went down for minicamp after the draft, and walked in the office and got to meet Coach Shula and like, okay, now this is it. I mean, I'm here. I'm going to, be a quarterback on the Miami Dolphins, and that was pretty exciting.
And you wore 13 in college as well?
Yes, yeah.
Why 13?
High school too. Actually, I think I told you this before. My dad used to make me wear, when we had baseball game or baseball team, he coached it, right? And other dads would probably let their kid pick the number first, and he wouldn't. It's whatever's left over is yours, and it always kept up being 13. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to just make 13 my number, and then I, picking 13 in high school and then wore it ever since.
Would you ever do a reality?
That's why they're doing the lean 13. You can lose up to 13
I see
pounds.
it on Nutrisystem. You got in another pitch there.
See that? How about that? That's good, Dan.
Yeah.
But what were we talking about? I don't know.
How's everything else?
Good. Everything's great. Yeah, really good.
How's life?
Life's good. Kids are good. Yeah.
Would you ever coach? Want to be in the front office?
Well, I do work now with the Dolphins. Yeah.
How involved are you with?
Pretty involved with the team, going to practices. I've been doing some stuff with the draft and the combine, and for the last couple of years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is Tannehill a long-term solution there?
No doubt. He's really taken a big jump, I think, with Adam Gase, our new coach. It's a shame because he played so well this year to get us into the playoffs, and he gets hurt.
Yeah.
And he can't play in a playoff game. But he's had a great attitude. He's been a great player for us. Really, he has.
But no doubts in your mind.
No. Going forward, no.
What if Matt Ryan wins this Super Bowl? What's it do?
That's awesome. It's great for him because he's still a young guy and he can go back to more Super Bowls. What's it do? It's just say I could, Matt Ryan, Sunday night, if he wins, walks off the field saying I'm a Super Bowl champion. There's a lot of guys that played, including myself, that never has been able to say that. And really, at the end of the day, that's really what you want as a quarterback. Be able to say, I'm a quarterback that won a Super Bowl and know what that feeling is like.
How many times did you rewatch your Super Bowl?
I never watched it.
Once it's done, it's done.
When it was done, I never went back to watch that Super Bowl. I haven't watched it.
Not even curious of.
Sometimes I'm curious to look at, but now it doesn't matter. So I don't. But I didn't. Right after that, I kind of put in my mind, I'm just going to go forward and not worry about what happened in that game. So.
It'd be cool to have you and Montana watch it together.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool for him. Come on, Dan. That's not right.
Well, no, it'd be cool to just see that honest reaction there. I know how it ends, Dan.
Yeah,
I do.
So do I.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It doesn't end well. I understand that, but it would be cool to see that.
Yeah. Okay.
I won't hold my breath for that. That was my next 30 for 30 for ESPN, a documentary on having two great quarterbacks sit and watch a.
That's not a bad idea.
Game.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
During the commercial break, after another Nutrisystem plug by you,
okay,
would you help us with just one of your famous calls and a throw to Marino or a throw to McLevin?
Yes. Yeah.
You will.
So what famous call you want? Like a play?
Well, yeah, and then this when you have line of scrimmage, when you have it's the greatest of all time.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll do that. So give me one more pitch for Nutrisystem.
Well, you can help me with that,
okay.
Right?
Oh, because I got all the information right here?
Yes.
Try the new Nutrisystem Lean 13. You know how they came up with 13?
Yes, because my number's 13.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and you can lose up to 13 pounds in a month.
Yeah.
And Monday's the biggest men's diet day.
The day after the Super Bowl.
You got that right.
They have turbo shakes there, Fritzy. They got probiotics that bust the belly bloat.
It's awesome.
And I'm saying this to everybody here, not just you.
No, but I understand. But I lost like 25 pounds with Nutrisystem, and I look nice and slender for my kids.
That's perfect. You're perfect.
Join Dan Marino and get back in the game. Visit Nutrisystem.com or Nutrisystem's Twitter or Facebook page for more information.
You're the man. You're the man.
Always great to see Dan Marino. Number 13.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.